is okay. I think today is very lively. So today I just want us to brush through this maybe what we studied yesterday and the day before yesterday. And this is the program one of our members shared. That is, I think Ahmad Spirit, someone like who goes by that name. So we are going just to brush through it very briefly, and I am just it's a way of maybe appreciating the nice work he has done. And I'm going to start with maybe the second line of code, or maybe let's start with the first line of code. We use this maybe to slanting strokes when we are using maybe when we want to add some comment, or when we want maybe the computer to assume the line of code. Let's go to line number 2. We have hash include standard input output dot h. It just shows the computer that you are running a C program. Then after that we have line number 3. There is a gap. The gap means nothing. You can as well fail to leave the gap. There is no issue with that. Then we go to line number 4. We have int main and we have brackets, and then I think everybody can see before we start to put our lines in brackets, that is code number 5. Any code above that, we don't have semicolon after maybe the line of code, so that is very nice. This shows that our student is very attentive. And for those who haven't done anything about this code, kindly I urge you keep on practicing, because maybe I try every day to keep a certain record, which I will reward certificate according to how you attend the classes. And if maybe a certain percentage you won't have maybe managed to attend the classes to a certain percentage, you may lose the certificate. So it's very important to attend these classes. So try as you can. So let's continue to code line number 5. That is where we have the brackets. The bracket shows anything that is in between these brackets, the computer is going to read and execute accordingly to get the desired output. So we start with line number 6, integers. Int simply means that we're going to feed integers, that is mathematics, English, Kiswahili, biology, chemistry, computer, physics, agriculture, business, and then sum. Why do we use sum? Because sum is a derived quantity which we're going to add the integers that have maybe the subject that have been listed above, and then we obtain sum as the derived maybe quantity. So we go at a lower position, that is like code line number 7, and then we find float. And then float simply maybe here we are using float because we don't know our mean. It might have maybe a floating part, ama inaweza kuwa na maybe decimal places. Floating part simply means the decimal places, so that's the reason we use float, because maybe our mean might be having decimal places. So we start with printf. That's what we decide to get as an output, and then we start with enter math score. And then after you enter math score, you can see we just there below we have maybe scanf, that is modulus of I, and then modulus of I, that is we call back to the line of integers, that is line code number 6, and then we call back, we specify that what kind of integer do we need to input here, that is mathematics. That's why we have put and mathematics, that is call mathematics, and then we terminate with semicolon. So that is the flow up to code line number 26, where we are finding the sum. This is very appealing to see maybe a person in the next in the second lesson first week, and is writing a code line of more than 30 lines of code. This is very appealing. Yeah. So we go to code line number 26. That is where we are calculating the sum. You can see sum will be given by you add all two subjects, and then you terminate with a semicolon. And then after that we use printf, not scanf. You can see he has written printf. This is very perfect. Printf. Why are we using printf? Because we want to print what the computer maybe has obtained as the output when we were calculating our sum. So we obtained our sum as, maybe if we want to know what our computer maybe got as the sum, that's why we use modulus of d. We can use modulus of d or modulus of I. There is no problem. Both of them mean we are dealing with integers, so don't bother. So we use modulus of d, that is we are going to call back the code line of integers, and then we use we don't use here, we don't use the initial and. The reason because we don't use initial and, it's because if we use that initial and or the call sign of and, it will give us the memory space of the sum. But if we fail to use the sum, it will just call back the sum that we got in code line number 26, which is what we desire. I think everybody can understand. So after that, we just fall down to mean. Mean will be sum uh, uh, divided by 9, and then we terminate with a semicolon, and then we also print the mean, and then after that we finish with printf what I said, I am a proud member of Master Programmer Academy. Then we terminate with return all. That's all about this lesson. So if you haven't done this assignment, rush on it. You can make sure you write your own code. It is not a very hard thing to write. In fact, it's very simple. So I'm expecting to mark, and depending on how I'll be rewarding you in the final topics, it will depend on the class attendance, because I won't accept you to rush in my maybe full stack development or maybe web development and you miss the first lesson. So this is very these are very nice beginning. So we're going to run the program and check what will be the output. So maybe let me input 5. Let me just input whatever that comes in our maybe in our keyboard. There is no problem. We're just testing our program. I said you can feed any number. There is no problem with this. Yeah. So you can see our program has a very nice maybe running maybe technique. We first enter math, English, Kiswahili, biology, chemistry in a very logical manner, and then this means that he has broken all the lines. This is very fine. And then after all, we are going to take the sum and then we divide by 9, and then we get to, because it must have a floating part. So today I'm going to show you what happens if maybe why is our maybe our program rounding off or maybe terminating or ignoring some floating of parts, and also we are going to reduce the number of floating points. So that's all about today's lesson. So this is very nice, this is very nice. So feel free to ask any question. If you didn't attend the yesterday's class, you can as well ask any question in the main group. It is all yours. You can discuss as many questions as you want.